She's a real pain in the... Welcome to the Pain in My Cast podcast with yours truly, Cassandra Jean.
It's not rocket science. It's where it gets complicated, where you have more people and you have more traffic and you build an audience and you have more people to attend to and more needs to attend to, and you have to keep track of who's who and what do they like, because it's like when you imagine a restaurant and you have regulars, you don't treat everyone the exact same. People like specific stuff. So a regular comes in, they like a BLT and a vanilla milkshake, and you remembering that for them makes it better, their experience better, because they know that you remember them.
She's a real pain in the... Welcome to the Pain in My Cast podcast with yours truly, Cassandra Jean. I am so excited for my guest on the podcast today, Allie. Some of you know her as Acpent on TikTok and Instagram. We talk about her time at EDC, which she just got back from. She did not feel good when we did this podcast together, and it truly just shows what a badass businesswoman she is, because she still showed up and did the damn thing. She has over 300,000 followers on both her TikTok and her Instagram. She's a content creator, she's a fucking bombshell, and she's a sweetheart for sure. We dive into her relationship, what it's like dating an OnlyFans girl, and what the platform looks like, her experiences with photographers, fuckboys claiming to be OnlyFans managers. Haven't heard that one before. So welcome to the show, Allie. I'm so excited to have you on. You just got back from EDC. How was that?
EDC was good. I'm sick right now. If it's because of EDC, that's to be determined. But it was fun. I mean, I think they might have oversold it this year. We heard some rumors that they sold over 60,000 tickets for it, like over capacity.
Wow.
And usually on Sundays, the festival's a little bit less than the first 2 days for multiple reasons. Most people have work the next day. It's Sunday, people are tired, whatever. And that was not the case. Sunday was actually the most packed day, and it was actually so packed, the fire marshal actually came to Skydeck, which is basically EDC's version of bottle service, which is crazy, insane bottle service. I mean, each table, it can go up to anywhere from 50,000 to 300,000. They actually had to shut down the deck on Sunday. So people that had spent on that day hundreds of thousands of dollars for that table weren't even able to get to it for 2 hours at least. So it was fun though. I mean, I saw some of my most favorite artists. I loved Porter Robinson, Sue, Rez. Rez was so good. Her set was during the finale fireworks, which is it's the last day, so it's when they do all the fireworks at the very end of the festival. It was so cool because some of her songs completely aligned with the fireworks show. It was really cool. I was really impressed with just the production and everything that went into it. One thing I did notice though, I felt like it was kind of not as loud as I've felt some other festivals were, and I don't know if that's just me getting older and my ears not being as good. So I was kind of surprised. I was at DJ Snake at one point, and I felt kind of sad because it just felt like I couldn't feel the bass. So I don't know, maybe something's wrong with me, or maybe other people can relate with me on that.
That's so cool. When you are going to these shows, are you going just for fun? Are you going specifically to get content at these events?
Well, okay, so it's kind of a two-part answer question because I grew up in the music industry. Ever since I could drive, I started working for events, and I specifically started working with like electronic and dance music events. And so I've always kind of been work related or work oriented with why I've been at these things. But I mean, I still love it. I've just kind of changed the purpose as to why I'm there. So like before I would go to events to help put people in the event. And then I started going because I was helping the event create the production and manage the flow of the event. And then now I'm there at the event to create content to help market events and help market apparel for events and just like market the community around surrounding the events. So I guess it is kind of work related, but it's because I love it too. So
Yeah, that's so cool. I think it's funny because looking at your Instagram, I wasn't sure like what you did for work or if you were doing OnlyFans or what you were doing. I just was like, this chick has a banging body. I've seen the viral video like multiple times. I know you know what I'm talking about, where you're walking away from the bar, you have just gotten a drink, and someone in HD is checking out your ass. I've seen that video around on the internet. You're not getting tagged on it. Do you want to talk a little bit about what you do for work and just kind of how that video started going viral?
Yeah, I am an OnlyFans girl. I'm a content creator. I'm a professional online girlfriend, best friend, therapist, whatever have you need when you come to my OnlyFans page. And so that requires me to have a social media presence if I would like for it to be my main source of income. So I am also like, I guess you could say I'm an influencer. I'm not really sure what it would be that I influence other than being nice or, just being nice looking.
I love it.
But yeah, that video was on one of my content trips last year. I was in Greece at the time. I was in Mykonos specifically, and we were at a beach club. And Mykonos is an amazing, amazing city. I mean, I would hope that everyone gets the opportunity to visit that place because it is so freaking cool. And that beach club we were at was actually nude optional. So you were able to be naked on that beach. So there were people who were topless or, in the beach naked. You just don't see that because the video is facing the bar side. Anyways, I had a bikini on and everyone's freaking out in the comments every time that video goes viral. I'm like, oh my God, she wants attention, obviously. Look at the bikini. But I promise you, my outfit was way more conservative than others. And I was just bringing a drink to my friend. She was like, oh, you look cute. Let me video record you. And it was not planned at all. That was not staged. And we watched it and we didn't realize that he was recording in the background until we actually went to go post it, which was maybe like 10 minutes after we took it. But it's funny because that guy, the same guy that actually was recording me in the video, asked me to take a photo of him and his friend, like right before I went to go get those drinks. So we had communicated before, but he didn't ask me to take a video of me. And then when I took his photo of him and his friend, I actually did get his number. We saw him later that night, and it was funny because the video was already going viral that day. And he was like, hey, remember me? And I was like, yeah, I do. He actually took a photo of me like in a video, and I kind of posted it, and it's getting some traction. And he like didn't know what to say, and I was just like, yeah, all right, kind of awkward, peace out. So it's funny, and sometimes I'll see him in the comments being like, hey, that's me, and I'm like, I don't know if you want to like advertise that. But yeah, it gets reposted by so many different kinds of accounts on so many different kinds of platforms. I mean, I've seen it on TikTok, on Instagram especially, I mean, Twitter, Reddit, everywhere. And you can't really identify me that easy in the video because I have sunglasses on, my hair is up. It's not really a video of my face. It's really easy to take that video and be like, oh, look, it's this person, and oh, look at me, I'm at the beach. And I really wouldn't care, honestly, but a lot of the times people that post the video are trying to drive traffic to a scam account, and I don't like that, because people that have seen the video and do know it's me, I don't want them thinking that I'm behind that account, because I don't want to be affiliated with people who are stealing money from people online, because it's a very real thing. And I do my damnedest to try to make sure people are aware of the things I'm aware of, because like working on social media, I am very, it's common. I run into scammers all the time. So I try my best to let people know, like, hey, that's not me, even though it's my content. But really, at the end of the day, there's not much I can do besides telling my followers. And they're amazing. They'll go in there and, tell the comments and tell the people who posted the video that it's me in the video. It's not the scam account being linked in the caption or whatever. And a lot of times they'll put these really dumb captions. They'll be like, her OnlyFans is free, and it's definitely not free.
Yeah.
But they're not talking about me anyway, so
can you talk about that, like OnlyFans, like kind of what that platform looks like? Because I'll be like 100% honest with you. Mm-hmm. I've only been on OnlyFans, I think, one time, and it was during the pandemic, and I told my ex, I was like, we should do this and like make money together. It was like, it seems like fun, seems like a good way to make money. But for people who don't know like how OnlyFans works and like how you're making your money, can you like explain like the platform?
Yeah, I mean, it's a super user-friendly interface. If you're ever curious to get on there again, or if someone's watching this and is considering it, I mean, you really don't have to commit to anything explicit to get to know the platform. But to put it in really simple terms, basically you create a profile just like you would on any social media platform. And from there, if you want to monetize your content, you are going to have to be vetted by OnlyFans checking system, and that includes, form of IDs, so like your passport and your social security. They have to make sure that you're a real person and that you're of age. Also, that you're of the age where you are to do that. So, because like people in Texas, you can't be a sex worker legally anymore unless you're 21. It used to be when you were 18, but they changed that like last year. So everyone that was 20 had to wait until this year. And then from there, once you're vetted, which takes like 3 days, you make a profile and you can decide if you want to have a free page or a paid page. And that basically just means how much access you want to give people for free. If you have a paid page, you can make it really cheap and just make money in the messages, where you can kind of negotiate your prices per piece of media. So you have locked DMs, and that's another way you make money. So say someone comes into your account, maybe you have a free page, so they subscribe for free, and they say, oh, I really like feet stuff, and you look like you have really cute feet. And say, okay, well, here's a 2-minute video of me putting lotion on my feet before I go to bed, and it's $10 to unlock it. And from there, the person who subscribed to you makes the decision whether or not they want to unlock the piece of content for $10. And then from there, if they do decide to unlock it for $10, OnlyFans will take 20% of that amount of money. So OnlyFans would essentially take $2 from that $10 that you just made off that content, and $8 will go into your account. And your banking system, what you need is you only need $25 in there in order to take it out and put it directly into your bank account. And that takes, I don't know, like 2 days to happen most of the time. Sometimes OnlyFans fucks up and, it could take a week or something, or they've lost your money and then you have to deal with them in other ways, but it's really easy. It's not rocket science. It's where it gets complicated, where you have more people and you have more traffic and you build an audience and you have more people to attend to and more needs to attend to, and you have to keep track of who's who and what do they like, because it's like when you imagine a restaurant and you have regulars, you don't treat everyone the exact same. People like specific stuff. So a regular comes in, they like a BLT and a vanilla milkshake, and you remembering that for them makes it better, their experience better, because they know that you remember them. So it's a lot of note taking when it gets bigger. It's a lot of, personalizing each customer profile to make sure everyone's like organized. Also making sure you don't sell the same piece of content to the same customer, because you do thrift content. That's a really important part about being an OnlyFans creator. Otherwise, you're just busting out content constantly, and it would just be stupid to make something so outrageous. I mean, like, explicit and like really push your boundaries, and to only be able to sell that once would be dumb, especially because people come and go into accounts all the time. So, I mean, making sure you don't sell the same thing to the same person is important, because if you sell something like $100 video, which is very achievable, it's not crazy, people do buy that kind of stuff. If you were to sell someone that and you sell it twice to the same person, they're going to get pretty mad, or they're going to expect something in return of the same value, and you have to be able to figure that out pretty fast. So, but it's not hard. It's just managing it really is where it gets difficult.
It honestly seems like a lot to do OnlyFans if you're doing it the right way, because you are running it like a well-oiled business. Like, there's a lot that goes into it. What are you charging people to subscribe? Because there's a monthly subscription, right?
Mm-hmm.
For content. Mm-hmm. And then they can also like go in and buy custom stuff, right? So what is your like monthly subscription? Like, what do people pay for that? And then is there like any kind of crazy piece of content like that you sold to somebody that costs, like, is there like an amount that you've sold that was just crazy to you? Like, someone bought something for $500 and you were like, okay, sure.
Well, you can't exceed $200 for a piece of content, so that's where it caps out. I know. It would be cool if you could, but
yeah,
I think they want to prevent like fraud and like laundering situations.
Yeah.
But the 200 is the cap, and I have sold content for 200 before, and I mean, it's fine. I personally probably wouldn't do it again, just because people expect so much from that content. So that's my 2 cents. I would probably keep things with, I would probably say don't go over 150. Like, that's my personal opinion. Because they're expecting a fucking movie at that point. They're expecting like something that's gonna make them like keep them up at night and never forget for the rest of their life. So it's a lot of pressure. I mean, every artist has the ability to determine what their worth is, and that's up to them. Me personally, I just think people on OnlyFans have a lot of expectations, especially with the more saturated the industry gets. So I kind of like to keep things realistic, and I like to keep my subscribers happy, and that's just kind of where I like to be. As far as my monthly charge goes, when I first started, I had that really high because I didn't really know what I was doing in the beginning. So I started out with my monthly rate being like $25 or something like that, because I didn't really know how to navigate personal DMs and locked messages quite yet. So really what they were getting was my feed or my timeline, or like my page. So that's pretty much what they were paying for. And then when I learned how to basically take advantage of the locked DMs, then I lowered my price real low, and that fluctuates. I mean, sometimes I'll go free, sometimes it'll go to like, $3.99 or $5.99. It just depends, I mean, it's a business. Like, every other business, there's sales and specials. So, and the economy is always changing. So you just gotta fluctuate with, what's happening in the industry. So.
Yeah. I don't know. How long have you been doing OnlyFans? Because I don't know if you were doing it during the pandemic, but if you were, I feel like you would have seen like a big uptick in subscribers and content and everything going on with that.
Yeah, no, I think I got it honestly at the best time. Like, I'm so thankful that I did it when I decided to, because I did do it right after the pandemic happened. I mean, I wanted to wait it out. Obviously, before someone becomes a sex worker, I feel like there's this thing in their mind where they're like, am I really about to do that? Like, is that really the option I'm about to resort to? I guess it was a little bit of pride that stopped me in the beginning, or just didn't think, I don't know, maybe I thought like I was too good for it or something. My own pre-existing prejudices against it definitely were there. I also just didn't understand, but I did get into it like right after the pandemic, because I was working in nightlife, and I was also working in an office, and then I was also a PA, and my nightlife job obviously was like all over the place because Texas bars were closing like on and off. So I never really knew if I was going to get work that weekend. And that was my big money job. And then my 9 to 5 job, I got laid off because they couldn't afford me anymore. And then my PA job was, they're helping a guy with his travel plans, which essentially were abysmal during the pandemic. So I really had to figure something out. And I was really thankful. This one photographer, he hit me up for a photo shoot, and he recommended OnlyFans to me. And I didn't take it seriously, but after I had no like other immediate option, I kind of just wanted to check it out. And I still had my bar job once the bars kept opening up, and I was like hanging on to that. And then once I told people I had an OnlyFans, like just had one, there people kept coming in, and I also kept getting more followers. And once I hit 15,000 followers on Instagram, then I was like, okay, I'm gonna take this seriously and do it. And that was in 2020, June. It was June 2020. So.
That's so cool. Were people like, did you have any friends that were like mean to you when they found out what you were doing? Like, were girls mean to you? And then I feel like if I was going to go start an OnlyFans and do it, and if I was promoting myself on my Instagram, I feel like the first people that would come to my page would be the people that already know me, like guys from high school, like those type of people. So did you see that happening?
Honestly, no. Mostly because I don't really pay attention to what people are saying about me to begin with, which is, I think, honestly, what has helped me through this entire experience. I'll be honest with you. It's funny when you mention high school, because I actually get a lot of DMs from guys from my high school who talk about how they are subscribed to my profile. And it's a weird feeling, I'm sure. Like, it's just like, that's weird. Like, this one guy I had a total crush on in high school, and I thought he was way too cool for me to talk to in high school. He DMs me like sometimes every now and then, and it's just funny. I just laugh at them because
It's so funny.
oh, man, it's funny.
It's weird how that kind of stuff works out.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But no one was mean. I mean, I'm sure people talk shit. I mean, people love finding reasons to justify why they're better than others. I mean, it's just like what sad people do in life. I mean, I don't care, so they can continue saying whatever they want to say.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you're going to have any type of following, if it's on Instagram or OnlyFans or whatever it is, I think you have to have thick skin, because some of those comments can be really mean and probably hard to handle if they're like coming at you all the time. But it sounds like you have a pretty good grasp on that and don't let it get to you.
I'm human, sometimes like, I don't know. I feel like the worst comments are usually on TikTok. Like, that platform is fucking just so mean. They just pinpoint, they just know what's gonna get out of
Oh,
your
no.
skin.
I've heard that.
But
I've heard that TikTok is way worse. Like Instagram's the nice social media platform now, and TikTok's the mean one, is what I've heard.
I just think TikTok is so rampant. Like, the pace it goes is so freaking fast. Like, things go viral on that platform so fast that you have so many eyes, so many keyboards, like, just looking and typing on your shit. I don't know. I think it's just the amount of exposure it gets obviously comes with, the good, the bad, and the fucking ugly. So Instagram's a little bit harder. Your audience is a little bit more secluded to the viral like world of the internet. So it's easier to block people too on Instagram. Like TikTok doesn't have a block this account and all others they might make. So I don't know. It's a lot of kids on there as well.
Right.
Instagram's kind of dying out, and kids are fucking mean. Like,
So mean.
they know how to bully someone.
Yeah, that is so funny. I can't even imagine though, like the type of DMs and stuff you get, because like I've had some weird shit going on with my DMs. Like in the last 2 days, I've had one guy DM me and ask what my Venmo was, and I was like, "Fuck it," I gave him my Venmo. I was like, "What's the harm in that?" And he Venmoed me like $15, which it's not going to get me anywhere, but I just thought it was funny. And then I had this other guy like asking for pictures of my feet. And apparently there's like Austin foot parties, which I had no idea that was a thing here. And I'm like, that's my DMs. And I don't even, it's literally just my friends following me. So I'm like, I have no idea what your DMs look like, but I'm sure they're crazy.
Yeah, they're a bit weird. I mean, I try not to go in there. Some people get really upset because I don't answer my DM requests on my personal social media accounts, but it's because they're just scary and like I honestly rather not. Sometimes I just get stuff that like it's just weird. I try to sift through them and look for things that like are business related, but for the most part I just don't respond or look at them because yeah, it's just gross in there. Some people, I don't know what's going on in their heads. There's definitely a mental health crisis.
That is so funny. Yeah, for sure. I don't know what goes on in these guys' heads, but you're also dating right now, right? Like you're in a relationship. So is that hard to navigate, like being like a sex worker and being in a relationship? Because I feel like you have to have a partner that's very secure in themselves. I don't know if you met your boyfriend that you're with now, like if you guys met before you started doing OnlyFans or if you were already doing it at the time. What does that look like for you?
I mean, it must be hard because everybody asks me about it. We met before and we definitely had to overcome some trials and tribulations. I would expect every couple that would be in this industry would need to go through at least something because you're having to understand each other's boundaries and it requires a lot of transparency and trust when you go into this kind of thing. I mean, it can get sticky at times, but I guess it's just important to one, be patient and understanding, and two, be honest, and also like hold yourself to a certain level of integrity when you are doing OnlyFans. Like take into account what are things that are no-goes, deal breakers, and things that you avoid. So I don't know. I mean, every relationship is so different too. Like everyone's different. It's hard to give people advice on it, but really, like, I would just say if you are a couple wanting to do that, I mean, it's not going to be easy. Like, if it's easy, then like you need to be a little worried because that person's not being completely honest with you about things that could bother them or are bothering them. And just being understanding and also trusting. Like, it's hard to do your job as a sex worker if your partner is like super paranoid the entire time and just constantly not trusting you, because then then it makes you second guess yourself too. Like, even if you are conducting yourself in a way that's still respectful to your relationship and within the boundaries of it, you're second guessing that because they're so paranoid, you know. You're like, well, maybe I am doing this wrong, or maybe I am, you know, showcasing too much of myself. But yeah, I mean, it's hard, but it's not. Like, once you get it, you get it. Once you don't, you need to get it back, because it can get really rough. I mean, I know some people still can't find a relationship. It's not for everyone. Like, I have a lot of friends who are amazing, like amazing people. I mean, they're sweet, they're stunning, they're like just an amazing time. They're beautiful people, but they struggle to find partners because of what they do. And it's unfortunate because, in my opinion, OnlyFans is like the safest like version of what sex work is today, because I don't interact with these people. I don't interact with these people in real life. I mean, honest to God, I don't know who these people are in the real world. OnlyFans is essentially completely anonymous. I don't know about their real lives. I don't know their real names. They could tell me their name, but I don't have a way to fact check that. I feel safe. I feel safe personally. Yeah. As opposed to, like, if I was a dancer and I had to, like, physically touch my clients and, like, physically be in the same room with them, I feel like that gives the client so much more power over the situation. Whereas in OnlyFans, I almost completely dominate where the conversation can go and how much this person is going to get from me. So I don't know. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I feel like OnlyFans is almost like the metaverse of sex work, right? It's almost like being a stripper at a distance, and like you're really controlling the VIP room, where if you were a stripper, it's like you have someone in your space eating up your energy right there in front of you. Like, I feel like it's a completely different ball game than when you're doing it from your home, you know, and you're choosing which content to share, and you can choose who to talk to and who you like as a regular and different things. Because I'm sure there's probably been people you've had to cut off that maybe came to your OnlyFans page or something, or things got weird, you know. I feel like you have more control over that than working in a strip club. Yeah. I feel like the thing that would be weird, I feel like for me, if I was shooting, you know, for OnlyFans, is the photographers, right? I feel like finding the right photographers is such a huge, yeah. And like on Instagram, I'll see guys all the time. They're like 15 and they're like, I'm an OnlyFans manager. And I'm like, no, you're fucking not. Like, you're just trying to see girls naked.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a extremely exploitive industry. I mean, all kinds of sex work is exploitive in some way. I mean, you exploit yourself, but there's so many people that want to exploit OnlyFans girls, sex workers. I mean, it's rampant. It's literally every day I get messages for OnlyFans managers, and like, I'll check them out, you know, and they have no credentials, no experience. People think that anyone can do it. And I mean, realistically, anyone can, but that doesn't mean anyone has good intentions. So, yeah, I mean, it's horrible. It really is. And you do have to look out for those people. You do have to look out for good photographers and bad photographers, because it's exhausting. You waste your time working with people who have bad intentions or are just bad at their job. And sometimes these things even cost money. You know, OnlyFans managers want a piece of your income. Photographers don't all work for free, or you have to pay in trauma, which is even worse. So,
in trauma? Did you say pay in trauma?
Yeah, like it's a traumatic experience.
Oh no.
I'm a photographer, but like the experience is horrible. Like, maybe you pay me money, but you had to go through something horrible, you know, you had to go through something traumatizing, and that's even worse than losing money. So, yeah, you do have to look out for it, and it's made me to the point where I have onboarded my boyfriend to be a part of my personal team, and I put a camera in his hands, and I was like, look, figure this shit out, because like I'm tired of dealing with these photographers who, one, don't know what they're doing. They don't take the craft seriously. They don't come with any kind of creative direction or vision, which is frustrating because I'm already a content creator and an OnlyFans girl. I'm constantly creating storylines and characters and like all kinds of weird shit. Like, it's just nice when a photographer can come to you and be like, hey, I have this idea and you're my muse for it, which is what a model should be. A model shouldn't be the model, the director, the costume designer, the makeup artist. That's not how photo shoots work in like the professional world.
Right.
So, I mean, and I'm sorry, but like picking up a camera and just taking some photos doesn't make you a photographer. You have to have a vision. You have to have a space for it. Like, you have to plan this out in advance, and you have to have costumes. You have to have a program to edit your photos, and you have to know how to edit your photos, and you have to get the photos to the model in a decent amount of time, because we change physically. I mean, my appearance changes probably every 6 months. You know, I'll either dye my hair, or I don't know, I'll get lip injections and my lips will be different, or fucking just anything, you know? And so it's like, all of a sudden that something that represented me at that time no longer represents me in social media. So it's important to get these things done quickly. And it's frustrating, honestly. It really is.
Have you ever like shot content and then not gotten it back from a photographer, like done a shoot?
Yeah, no, 100%
Oh my God.
I have. And you know what? Their excuse is, oh, well, I don't want to give you all of the photos because, you know, I mean, I'm an artist, and like, I just don't want to like give you all of the proofs. But then their version of art is editing the photo on their iPhone, and I'm just like, give me a fucking break, okay? So yeah, no, I mean, it's really what they're doing is they're just hoarding the photos of you, which are probably more explicit. Don't want to give those to you. They want to keep them, because I've seen this so many times. Photographers will make their own OnlyFans. They'll give you about 5 photos from a shoot where you took 500, and they'll be like, yeah, here are the edits. And you're like, well, where are the rest of the photos? And they'll be like, oh, you know, I don't use them. I just have them. I keep them for, you know,
They archive them.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're good.
And then they'll start the OnlyFans, and then they'll sell the content, so you can't sell it.
That is so fucked up.
It's fucked up, but it's a very real thing, and most people who get into this industry don't think about these things, and people when they start out are usually very trusting and hoping that everyone has really good intentions, but they don't.
Right. Yeah, I know. That's so tough. I feel like if I was in your shoes, I would just have my boyfriend. I'd be like, you need to take all the content, like what you're saying, and then you guys are like working together. It's almost like something that builds trust between you guys. I feel like even as a sex worker, it's kind of cool if he's shooting some of your content. So
yeah, I mean, you know, it's how I make my money. It's how I make a living, and if him being a part of it can help me make more money, then it's a win-win. Now, there's photographers I still love to work with, but only because I've worked with them before, and I had the pleasure of, when I was more trusting, learning that they are good photographers. So I still work with other people, I'm just more hesitant to work with new people now. But yeah, it is cool to work with my boyfriend just because, I mean, he's available to me at all times. So if I need something from him, he'll give it to me because he loves me. So it works out. Yeah. It can be difficult being in a work relationship with your partner, but if you're in a good relationship, usually you can navigate it. It's okay.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like some of the girls doing OnlyFans are making like 6-7 figures, you know? So if you're making that kind of money, it would be hard for your significant other to not support you. especially if you're earning that kind of money, I feel like. And then I've also seen some of the OnlyFans girls, it seems like, I don't know what you call it, I guess collaborate. Like it's like they rent a house or something and there's a couple of girls and then it's like you guys bring a photographer in. Is that something you do a lot of? Like, do you collaborate or have friends that do OnlyFans?
Almost all of my friends are OnlyFans creators. I mean, not literally all of them, but basically majority of them. I would say 85% of my friends are OnlyFans creators. And that's just because I'm a work-oriented person. I'm very introverted. So if I'm doing something, I like doing it with purpose. So most of the time when I'm out, it's to create content and get work done. So naturally, I'm going to be surrounded by people who are also doing that. And it's just easier, it's easier. People who are subscribers like to know who you're friends with. It makes you more personable, creates more character development for you and for them. So it's a win, and it's nice because then you can make content together and you make money together, and you also cross-pollinate your audiences and you build a bigger fan base that way. And people like seeing familiar faces together. It's like watching a show or a movie. You like seeing certain personalities mix with each other after a certain amount of time. So it makes sense. Yeah, I do content houses. I do content trips. I do a lot of trips. When I first started out, we were doing a lot of content houses, and it's fun. And I would like, at the beginning, it would be like these photographer events that I would get invited to. But then I learned pretty quickly I didn't like that at all, because I would go there and there would be, like I said, like someone who with a camera who necessarily wasn't a very good intentioned photographer, and they would just like take photos of you while you were working with someone else. Like they would be behind them taking photos of you.
That's not cool.
Super inappropriate. So just like conduct of ethics really wasn't there. I mean, like I'm not going to be like a girl who's like men are the worst, but like they just don't. The guys that I was around at some of these things just didn't understand how they were being rude, and not just to me, but to the photographer too. Like, you're disrupting a shoot that doesn't involve you. So yeah, just like really, really unprofessional shit. So I started to not like that and wasn't going to do those anymore. Also, I went to this one in Austin actually, and this one guy was like, "Can I shoot you?" Never met him before. Also asked me while I was changing in like a private room.
God.
Like, came in, I was basically naked. He's like, "Can I take your photo?" And I said, "No, thank you." And he goes, "No." He wanted to make sure that I was making the biggest mistake of my life or something. And I was just like, "Yeah, no thanks. Like, can you close the door and let me finish changing?" And I learned the next week, I only learned this because one of my friend's boyfriends was a photographer that was in a group chat. He was at the house. He was a group chat with all the photographers from this event, and they were talking so much shit about me saying no. And it was just the creepiest thing, them being like so turned off by a model saying no to someone, and basically just expressing this really gross entitlement to models. And it was borderline predatorial, like just really, really gross behavior, and turned me off from the entire thing completely. So I stopped doing those. And then I just stuck with content trips, which is basically like a bunch of OnlyFans girls go into a house and we utilize our cell phones, because that's what 95% of the content is sold on. People really don't buy much of the professionally shot stuff. Oh, sorry, my nose. Usually people want to see what's on your phone because it just feels more real and authentic, and that's what they're looking for on OnlyFans. So yeah, I mean, just a bunch of girls, like pretty much like a girls trip, and get in the house.
Does
take
that get like
photos.
catty? Because I almost like feel like that could, if you're not bringing the right group of girls, or if there's like a bad egg that gets brought into the trip. Has that ever happened to you? I
Sorry.
don't know how like catty or how that works in the OnlyFans world, because I know you surround yourself. You have a lot of friends that are creators and doing that, but wonder if there's a girl that doesn't get along with y'all. Has that happened?
I mean, of course, yeah, it's going
Yeah.
to happen. It's human being nature. Like,
Yeah.
there's always going to be someone who is not going to like you and who is going to be intimidated of you and who is going to be not your vibe. And that's expected. And you just kind of have to know when to not care. And, like, it's human nature. So it's expected. It's going to happen. It has happened. It has gotten to the point where it's upset me and I've cried, but like really what I've learned from it is, you don't need anyone's approval to do this. You don't need anyone's approval to be to the point where you want to be or to reach your goals. Really what you need is your own approval and your own self-love, and just to remind yourself that no one's got you besides you. So if someone doesn't fucking like me, that's fine. Like, I can keep them up at night, but I'm not going to waste any of my time worrying about how they feel about me, because it doesn't affect me. And if it makes someone change their mind about me, how someone else feels about me, then that just means they haven't given me a real chance to get to know me. And the person that doesn't like me definitely didn't. So
Yeah.
whatever.
I feel like I feel like it's frustrating. And I feel like when you have like a little bit of a following, whether it's on Instagram or OnlyFans, I think people look at you in like one light without actually knowing who you are, right? Like, because I could go look at your Instagram page and it's not going to give me all of who you are, right? Like that you're more shy or you're like really sweet and like all of these things. Like people aren't going to get that from just the photo.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think even with the photographers you worked with, I feel like some of them are almost looking at the OnlyFans girls like with no boundaries or anything, because they're like, oh, you're just putting yourself out there, when there's still a line of consent, whether that's asking to take a photo or posting a photo without your permission. Like, you're not just some like sex symbol walking around. Like, there's so much more to you than like what's behind OnlyFans or Instagram,
Yeah, I mean, I guess like it's kind of up to you how personable you want to be on social media and in real life. Like I said, I'm introverted, so it's a little bit harder for me to connect with people on a deeper level and for them to understand who I am as a person. It's actually easier for me to do that online. But yeah, I mean, there's more to everyone, and people can assume and make their own observations about anyone or about me or any other sex worker, but really at the end of the day, we're all just people, and we're all going through shit. And that's why I just remind people to be kind and be patient and try to be understanding, because everyone's going through something, whether we think they are or they aren't. And we just kind of have to try to have some compassion for each other, because it's not easy, and no one likes to be stereotyped. No one likes to be just labeled as one thing, because no one is. But people are just lazy. People are lazy, and they want to categorize people because it makes it simple, it makes it easy for people to, just be like, oh, well, she's just an OnlyFans girl. She's a whore. When really she's married and she's
So
in a
annoying.
loving monogamous relationship, and she's only had sex with maybe 3 different people. You just never know. And a lot of what OnlyFans is storytelling. So a lot of the stuff that girls will say is happening isn't actually happening. I mean, I definitely am guilty of this. Like, I've created a story for my subscribers just to create a story. Like what a story does is it stimulates your imagination. It makes you think about, the fantasy, because that's what OnlyFans is. So I'll be like, oh, I just met this guy, and my Uber driver, he's so hot, and really it's just my boyfriend driving in the front seat, but like, that's how movies work, and that's how porn works, everyone knows each other, everyone's comfortable with each other, nothing's actually happening in real time, and sometimes it is, but I personally don't encourage that, because that person might not be comfortable with being exploited on your OnlyFans. So I don't know, I'm really big on consent and stuff. So, but yeah, people just run with what you say online and just immediately slap that label on you, and it's fine. I just kind of see it as them being lazy and not understanding people or themselves, really. I mean, if someone's really quick to label someone, that they're probably labeling themselves as something at the same time. So
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And yeah, I think that's what's so frustrating too, is like, I know so many girls who are shy and like they do OnlyFans, and I think people think of them like, oh, they must be like the most outgoing, like sexual human being in the entire world. And I'm like, okay, that's actually not the case. So I love everything that you said about that. Like sometimes it's single moms doing OnlyFans. It could be a couple. Like who knows? There's so many different situations for it. So, but yeah, it's like was really cool to like sit down and like get to know a little bit more about you and just kind of you share your experience with OnlyFans and everything you've done. And I honestly think you're really inspiring for other girls that like want to do it or get into it, because I do think it's like a safer space for sex work. And even the posts you're doing on Instagram and everything, they're beautiful. They're so tastefully done. So thank you so much for coming on. And then we got to pimp you out. Where can people find you on social media? What are all your handles?
Okay, let's pimp me out. All
right.
So all my handles are Acpent or Acpent X. And you can find Acpent or Acpent X on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, and my OnlyFans handle is just Acpent. So go ahead and find me and figure out what I'm all about.
Awesome. That is so cool. And we're going to add that to the show notes so people can come and find you. Thank you so much, Ali.
Yeah,
I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah,
Bye.
Thank
you. Bye.